Hey everybody, Michelle is here on a Tuesday. Yep, August 29th, 2023 on the West Coast. All right now. I hope everybody's doing fantastic, magnificent, and marvelous because I am. Anyway, I have, I'm in my studio apartment and I don't know if I said it's kind of like, I wouldn't say a hole in the wall, even though that's what I've told certain people. There's a hole in the wall, but not necessarily. It's just an old building. The residents or the tenants in this building have been here for quite a while, several years, number of years, 5 to 10 years in some cases. So a lot of them are much older and blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, I just have to keep that in mind as well. So that's what I've been doing inside my studio here, is making it soundproof. You know what I mean? So that I don't like to disturb people, and I don't like to be disturbed. So I'm very considerate of others, as well as I want others to be considerate of me. And I know how it is when you move into a new complex, when you have people that have been there forever, like, for example, have been here forever. They're set in their ways. They want to park in a certain spot. A certain spot belongs to them, even though there is no assigned parking. They want to do this. They want to do that. And sometimes they can be a little nitpicky and complaining and whining, about new tenants. I'm used to it. I'm used to it being a first responder, and the number of calls that come into the police department is ridiculous, actually. And so it's up to the police department to consider, and I'm sure they are, I hope they are, how they're going to manage certain non-emergency type calls. Some of these calls that end up causing more harm than good. You go out there to respond to somebody because they're playing loud music, and it end up someone's been killed over loud music, or over some dog shitting all over the place and the owner is not picking it up. So there's a lot of factors where the police officers should not respond at all. And again, it's like I said, it's not the police officers per se, is how they're managed, because the police officers think they are independent, but they're not. They have so many layers of people that control their actions and behaviors. Okay, and that's a whole nother topic, in itself. But anyway, so like I said, most of the people here are older, much older than me. I'm 58, so, and they've been here a while. They have a certain parking spaces that they think belong to them, and blah 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 blah. I can care less about all of that, as long as I'm being respected and being considered, and allowed to, to do my thing. So anyway, so I had to make some repairs in here, especially to the windows, because the windows. I mean, it's an old building, like I said, and so the windows are in not in the best condition. So I had to do some repairs to the windows. I'm kind of figuring out how to, how to set myself up in here, navigate myself in here, and allow enough room for my partner to, have their space and blah blah blah. So there's plenty of space in here for two. Yeah, comfortable. So this is going to be a very comfortable, cozy atmosphere for two. And so yeah, I'm happy about that. And building faces north, so that's another thing that I like. So it's easy to set the bed up, because I said it's best to have your head, have your feet facing north. I mean facing south. The head facing north. So you'd be on the in balance with the magnetic field. That's important. Even though we're massively overpopulated, it's best to get in alignment as best you can, and that's an alignment, the north south oh my gosh, a magnetic field, blah 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 blah. So so yeah, so once I fixed the window and sealed in some drafty areas, it feels better in here. Because like I said, this is an old building. I was hearing all the traffic last night, people talking, people arguing, which is, hey, the traffic and planes, and there's just all kind of noise going on. So I kind of sealed in some spots. I may have to go back in and kind of tweak it a little bit, because to me, I need to be prepared for the winter. I was talking to some people, and they said the winter can be cold. I mean, it's cold. It's not like that Florida cold. It's a different kind of cold. So I can't wait to see what that's about. But I want to make sure, my my apartment is set up to be able to handle all of that. So that's what's important for me, to seal the drafty areas and seal the windows so that I don't hear too much of the noise. I mean, I expect to hear noise. I heard noises in my own house. No matter how much I sealed it up, I was still hearing noises outside. And it's good to hear what's going on outside, so you know what's going on. Just in case somebody's yelling fire, fire, or yelling help, help, you want to be able to hear something. You don't want to seal yourself in where you don't know what's going on around you. So, but anyway, so I'm going to test it out tonight and see how it works, and take it from there. So yeah, everything's coming along fantastic, magnificent, and marvelous. And also, let me clarify something that I want to clarify. When it comes to interpersonal relationships, I told you social media platform has severed any attempts and goodwill for people to attempt to resolve interpersonal relationships. But it always goes degenerate, and more so sexually degenerate, all the time. It always everything will be going fine for a week or so. Everybody's getting along, everybody's talking respectfully, and then all of a sudden there's something sexual is spoken about, and then it always goes degenerate, always. There's always an inappropriate conversation when it comes about sex and worrying about what's going on in everybody else's bedrooms. And I told you the ones that are concerned most about what's going on in other people's bedrooms are the ones that don't have anyone in their bedrooms. Nobody wants to go out with them. Nobody wants to sleep with them. And that pisses them off. And so they get degenerate. And they feel like they can hide behind a screen name, hide behind a persona, and get online and just go all inappropriate about this, about that. And it's usually always targeted towards women, of course. And it's always usually targeted towards alternative lifestyles. When it gets so degenerate till it just becomes disgusting and dangerous, because people are assuming, and they're always so concerned with what people are doing in their bedrooms, and I hear it from people that they're supposed to know better. They'll put out great videos talking all knowledgeable, sounding somewhat reasonable. But the minute something happens in their life, and it's usually something about them, they're not getting the kind of attention they thought they were supposed to get from whoever they're pursuing, whoever they are wanting to get with, or whatever, develop something with. As soon as that doesn't go the way they expect it to go, okay, they get all degenerate and start blaming somebody else as to why their sex life is, non-existent, possibly. I don't know. So, but yeah, my alignment, my partnership with someone is not a secret. Okay, there's nothing secret about it. I will be glad to let everybody know, who this person is, but I want to respect privacy. Okay, because I know a lot of people want to know, because I started running because I'm happy, And I'm, and just, I have to remind myself of our degeneracy when it comes around interpersonal relationships, especially when you're talking online or just talking to people in general, because a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people are not aligned, and they're pissed off about it. And so they blame women for that. They blame trans people for that. They blame gay people for that. The main thing is they blame women as to why they can't get into interpersonal relationships. It's the woman's fault, always. And it doesn't matter what her gender or her preference. So like I said, if you are in a intimate relationship with someone, I would back off of talking about your personal relationships, especially if you're well-known celebrities or just, whatever. Just keep the intimate details about it offline. That's all. You can talk about how, and be mindful of talking about how happy you are, because all that does is stir up and conjure up that negativity that's we're encased in, and then before you know it, somebody's attempting to lure the other partner into some trap or something, and do everything in their power to break that relationship up. And usually it works, because of AI. I heard someone talking about AI manipulated them into believing that their partner was cheating. I don't know what that was about. I was going to research it, but I'm too busy. But but how in the world is that happening? Wow. That now AI is manipulating someone to believe that someone's cheating on them. You see what's happening? See what's happening. But remember, AI is neutral, and there's a cause and effect. So whoever's doing all this manipulation and deception, AI is neutral. Cause and effect. Keep that in mind. That's going to be massively important as time goes on, as this AI, whatever this AI machine, AI monster continues to develop itself, and become quote unquote conscious, sentiment, feelings and emotions. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to, do something with the jaw. Sometimes, like I said, I have a hard time enunciating things, and it hurts because I bite down on the side of my jaw. But anyway, so yeah, the interpersonal relationships are, you can do as best you can to interact and engage in it and attempt to resolve it, but sometimes it just makes matters worse, because it's not about peace and love on social media. Not at all. It's about generating engagement, interactions, back and forth, arguing. The more extreme and radical, the better. You hear people talking like some of these politicians rambling about topics they have no clue about, and they'll say anything. And that's why I said some people have a price that they are willing to be paid to say anything. So in other words, if they're not developed, they'll say anything just to get paid, just to get elected, just to get the attention. And for some reason they seem to succeed at it, because we have acute amnesia when it comes to politics. And there's a possibility that because we're being indoctrinated silently, somehow manipulated, with sound and this, and it could be anything. Because it's just amazing me. It amazes me how it's like, does anybody remember what happened in the last elections? Does anyone remember what happened? People were killed Maybe that's a hint. So anyway, I'm setting up my studio. Like I said, I'm trying to navigate how everything will be set up so it'll be comfortable for two people to do what they need to, I'm doing what I need to do, my partner's doing what they need to do. We're not necessarily interfering with each other, and it's like nice and cozy, and comfortable, relaxing. And so I'm happy so far. There's always something to deal with when you're dealing with a building, and a building that's an old building. You got to worry about insects. I don't care what kind of house you're in, whether it's a new house or old house. You got to deal with insects. You got to deal with others when you're in an apartment complex or apartment building or multi-building or co-building or whatever everybody's calling them. You have to realize how massively overpopulated we are. You should be able to tell we are. No, you can't find parking. Some people, like I can smell when I go out in the hallway, I can smell certain spices. That they're going up and down the hallway. You can smell the spices. I can hear dogs barking inside the building. So apparently, there's dogs in these apartments, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, the complexities of coming from a home like I had, a single family home, to come into a studio. Big adjustment for me, and I love it. I'm not complaining right now. So anyway, I want to go ahead and because I'm feeling really tired and I got appointments in the morning, but I just want to come through and let you know, hey, I'm up in here decorating, making it pretty. Making it pretty in here. No, I'm not. But anyway, it can be pretty, but it will be loving. It will be comfortable. It will be comfortable, loving, peaceful, or whatever, whatever the occasion calls, whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and send peace and love right now because I'm getting a little sleepy. But anyway, I want to send peace and love, everyone. And trust me, I'll be back.